So hi guys, I'm Catriona Holland from Hands on Art, and I was the project manager for the Kids Art Project, Children's Art Project for the G20. I think Athol came and had a meeting with Jeff way back in, I think it may have been April or May, to talk about the possibility of doing something in schools for the G20. It was an extremely tight time frame, and in fact I would say that if we hadn't got the go-ahead to do it exactly when we did, we wouldn't have been able to do it. We had about 3 weeks to get 21 schools and you know, all the artists sort of worked out and briefed. Education Queensland gave us the list of schools that they wanted to have involved, and they selected them mainly the public schools because they had an art teacher who was involved in a thing called the Primary Arts Network. Primary Arts Network meant that they had a strong arts focus for the school, so the teachers took a little more time than the average teacher on arts. So what I did was then contacted all of those schools, and I did try to match up schools with what they might like to do. So ask schools, you know, is there anything that we've got an artist who's good at this or whose specialty is this. There was a big variety in the resources of schools, and also in how much exposure the children had obviously to art. Well, it asked them to explore themes about themselves, their identity within Brisbane and within or their very specific locality. So what we were trying to do was to be able to showcase, I suppose, the best of Brisbane and what children today liked to do. One of our artists, Scott Maxwell, who worked with St Mary of the Cross, Windsor, and St Pius X in Salisbury, he worked very much in teaching them about the G20, and the kids all had to make thinking caps, which became those big 3D artworks, and so they had to all pretend that they were putting their thinking caps on and they were like being an Obama. What would Obama maybe be thinking about and talking about throughout the G20 and that. So he had a really lovely approach to it. Some did their journey to school, you know, what are your local landmarks. Some did what are your favourite things about your life, and make a costume about your very favourite thing in life, which is what they did at Junction Park. And there were other ones who, you know, one boy loved TV, so made a big TV on his head. We had this fabulous artist, Sarah Butcher, and I just love her to death. She's great, and she worked with kids out at Iona College and made this massive sculpture. That's Big Owl. So it had all these great patterns, and it was like the fields of Wynnum and the local fields, and it was all done from recycled materials. So that was sort of a great thing, where there were kids saying, you know, I've never had such fun in my life, and this is the best day at school I've ever had, and that sort of thing. So I had really incredible feedback on an individual thing. So I think one of the nicest things about the project actually was the fact that these kids got to work with professional artists, you know, and they wouldn't have had a chance to otherwise. So even though they had art teachers or teachers within the schools who were very passionate about art, it's another thing altogether to work with someone who has been working as a professional artist and who had really specific skills that they could help them with. Symone who is a fantastic mural artist, and she's always enters in the Archibald and things, and she's an amazing portrait painter too, and she got them all to draw and draw and draw these animals, which she then transcribed onto a mural, and she really gave them drawing lessons and got the best out of them, and they were wrapped, you know, really good. So those specific skill sets, I think, were fantastic. It's given us a new lease of life, I think. I would like to think that it had given us a whole lot of very positive contacts and places to go.